Okay, so the title of this is How to Prepare for Your Slow Roll Around the Planet. And the things I went through in order to get to the point where I felt like I was really free and I could go. So here we go. Leaving home. I don't know about you, but I love to travel. I love to explore. I have spent big chunks of my life out on adventures of one kind or another. I am also a giant consumer of more and more information. I grew up in a house full of books. My parents put adventure books in my hands as a kid. I went from bombing around the western desert in my Volkswagen bus in high school to joining the Army and spending 4 years active duty, including 30 months in Germany. I joined for the adventure. I have now spent a total of around 8 years away from the US. I spent a month in Tokyo and made a small commitment to myself to go further into Asia, to dive deeper into Asia. Tokyo absolutely blew my mind, and I couldn't wait to get back into anywhere in Asia as soon as I could. It took a while, but somehow I figured it out and made it work. Yeah, I mean, if you're committed to the slow roll, figure it out, make it work, you know? So, unknowns. It's kind of scary to do what I've done. I plan and plan, and sometimes the plans just go to hell. And that's when the adventure starts. But as you overcome these trials, you will grow stronger in your own confidence that it will all work out. I arrived at the train station in Barcelona 5 hours early, and the receipt I had for my ticket from my online purchase was not the ticket. And I was told to only come back after I had printed the ticket. I missed some small print on the receipt telling me that I needed to print this, that this was not the ticket. So I had to leave the train station with all of my luggage and walk down the street asking Spaniards if they knew of a place I could print. I was asking for Kinko's, hoping people would get the idea. I had been traveling for 24 hours and was exhausted. Finally, a young couple who spoke English approached me and pointed me toward a place that prints things. When I got to the print shop, I had to ask them if I could get into my Gmail and open the attached PDF ticket and print it. She motioned me to a machine. I sat down and tried to log into Gmail, and it responded with, in Spanish, mind you, "Sorry, we don't know who you are, so we will send you a code to use to log in." And finally, one of our customers spoke English enough to come over and help me navigate through this Spanish, Chrome, and Gmail and Hotmail login code delivery thing that I had been presented with. I've seen enough of those that I probably could have figured it out without help. And finally, I got to the ticket PDF, opened it, and the lady came over and selected a printer I could send it to. Thank God it was mid-May and the weather was nice, because having to do that in the rain would have really sucked. That was 3 years ago, on my way here, actually on my way to my second half of my Camino. As it was, I got to stroll some nice back streets in Barcelona, and I got lost on the way back to the train station. But in the end, it all worked out, and I was able to seriously relax during an 8-hour bullet train ride across Spain at 200 kilometers an hour. I was heading to Lyon, where I caught another slower train to Sahagún, where I began the second half of my Camino de Santiago. So unknowns are sometimes panic-inducing, but cool heads prevail and your confidence builds. Yeah, I was trucking around from the train station in Barcelona to go find this print shop. I was carrying my suitcase, a 7-kilo backpack and a 23-kilo suitcase, the allowable limits on airlines. And I'm glad the weather was nice, because it would have really sucked if it would have been raining. Okay, so stuff. These are the topics, right? Stuff. It took me 8 years to get rid of all of my stuff. They say the Camino will change you in subtle ways that will surprise you. When I returned to Boise in 2010, after my first attempt at the Camino, I walked into my house, and the first thing that popped into my head was, whose shit is all of this? As my eyes landed on walls of bookcases and stereo equipment and computers and furniture and kitchen stuff. I had just walked 265 miles with a 9-kilogram backpack. All of this stuff, which at one point I cherished, I now looked upon as a serious impediment to freedom. But in 8 years, I would have gotten rid of all of it, and it took me 8 years to sell everything or give it away. I currently have a computer, a couple of garment bags, a box of stuff, and my skiing backpack in a friend's closet in Boise. Everything else I own fits within my 23-kilo checked bag limit and my 7-kilo carry-on limit. I have accumulated some kitchen stuff, but I have no attachment to it. I will put it in a box and hand it to Swanee or my landlady when the time comes to move on. So COVID happened. I was planning on moving every 12 to 18 months. I have been in Da Nang now for 2 years and 9 months. storage units. If you have stuff in a storage unit and you are planning on slow rolling around the world, just get rid of all of it now. Just do it. You will never reincorporate that stuff back into your life. Get rid of it and save the money. Sell it, give it away, sweep out your storage unit and get your deposit back. You'll experience some pain doing this, but just remember, this stuff has been in there for 3 years. And how much have you spent on storage? $3,500? $4,000? I mean, seriously. You got to work out the economics of a storage unit and figure out the likelihood of you ever actually reincorporating all that stuff back into your life. You're spending a lot of money on stuff that has less and less value the older you get and the more freedom you want, So, okay, let's continue on. I digitized a cubic yard of photos and slides. I had years of river trips and skiing in the Alps and climbing trips all on slides. I even had a slide projector. I had boxes and boxes of slide trays and old photographs. So I projected all of the slides on the wall and photographed them with my iPhone. The photos I just laid on a desk and photographed. I filled my dumpster 3 times with slide trays and boxes of photos. I threw them all away. I moved them from my phone and pasted them to a hard drive. They now all reside on an external hard drive in my backpack, right over there, and they are a whole lot easier to get to. I got rid of everything: artwork, frame degrees, my library, skis, tools, my entire shop, including a table saw, compound miter saw, thickness planer, mortising machine, my welders, and about 150 clamps of all sizes. All this stuff was getting in the way of my freedom. Minimalism is the road to your happiness, to your liberty. To quote Janis Joplin, freedom means having nothing left to lose. Debt. I have managed to get out of debt and stay out of debt. This is another key to the slow roll around the world. Unless, of course, you are made out of money. But if you are, then why are you in debt? If you can't afford it, you really can't afford it with interest. The slow roll is possible on Social Security if all of your Social Security is yours to keep. So get out of debt and stay out of debt. Okay, so some travel tips here. Momondo. Play with Momondo.com. It's a travel booking site. Mostly I always book one-way flights. Momondo takes a while to find those weird connections with painful layovers, but you can get from point A to point B for a song. In 2018, I flew from Boise to Barcelona with a 12-hour layover in Oakland for $300. The cheapest into Madrid was $800. And so I just was looking for another city in Spain, and I found Barcelona. It was only $300, so I saved $500. Either way, I had to take the bullet to Lyon, so be flexible and let Momondo run. Sometimes it takes a few minutes to chug through the combinations of how to get you to your destination. Also, and this is super important, dynamic pricing is active on Momondo and almost all retail websites these days. So if you look and then look again, and the software reads your cookies and sees that you've been here before, it will jack the prices up, and every time you return, the price is higher. So I use Chrome as my browser because it's easy to find and delete cookies in Chrome. When I'm shopping for tickets to a city, I delete my Mondo cookies between each and every search. That way, Mondo is working for you and not for the airlines. Yeah, dynamic pricing is a drag. Like even on Amazon, you look at a camera and you don't buy it, and you go back 2 weeks later and you look at the same camera and the price is higher. And it's because Amazon's looking at the cookies on your browser and determining that you've been there, and it jacks the price up. So dynamic pricing is a pain in the ass, but you can get around it by deleting the cookies for that specific website. And in Chrome, it's really easy to find cookies and delete them. And you don't have to delete all of them. You can just drill down to the cookies are displayed in alphabetical order. So you can just go to the Momondo cookie and delete it, and then search again. Also, airlines want to sell you married legs, and this is another important point. Say you are trying to get to Bangkok from Cape Town, and you find a flight that stops in Dubai for a few hours. The price is $1,800. This is just an example, okay? I have not done this, but this is how this works. So I would check flights from Cape Town to Dubai alone to see how much, and then I would check from Dubai to Bangkok. You might have to even spend the night in Dubai, but I would be willing to bet you could save a lot of money flying unmarried legs. I worked as a travel agent for a while, and the airlines definitely want you to fly married legs. They make a lot more money on married legs. So you want to fly unmarried legs, book your own. I was looking for a flight into Geneva, but all flights were going through Zurich. When I searched on flights only going to Zurich, they were $700 cheaper. Grab a train. Once you get on the ground, just grab a train. The other thing you can do is, you land in Zurich and you want to get to Geneva, just open your phone up and book a flight directly right now as you're sitting in the terminal in Zurich. Book a flight to Geneva, and you could probably walk right on. Just don't do them married. And you probably, instead of spending $700 to go from Zurich to Geneva, you might spend, $45 to go from Zurich to Geneva. Unmarry the legs of your flights, book them yourself. You can save tons of money, especially if you're retired and have time. And don't use a travel agent. I've had nothing but terrible experiences with travel agents. An agent had me landing in Dulles and taking off from Reagan National with an hour layover. Don't use them. Book your own. Be smart. I've had horrifying experiences. I booked a flight from Salt Lake to Boise once, and I landed in Jackson and Pocatello and Twin Falls and Mountain Home, and it was some horrifying puddle jumper. And a travel agent put me on that, and it's like, holy crap, freaking travel agents. So don't use them, be smart, book your own stuff. People, I think the media portrays foreigners as bad, strangers as bad, but I must have a friendly face or something. People are mostly very helpful, friendly, easygoing, curious about me, and all around really wonderful. I landed in Munich on a Friday afternoon, made my way to the train station, der Hauptbahnhof in downtown Munich, and discovered there was no train to Garmisch-Partenkirchen in the evening on Friday. I walked around the Bahnhof asking if anyone was going to Garmisch. A woman stopped me and said, "You should say, 'Fahren Sie nach Garmisch?'" So I continued to ask, "Fahren Sie nach Garmisch?" to anyone in the train station who would look at me. Finally, these two German guys asked me if I wanted to ride to Garmisch, and they drove me the 88 kilometers south in a Citroën Deux Chevaux. I offered to give them money for gas, and they took 10 Deutschmarks. They wouldn't take more. My point is that 99% of people are amazing and helpful. Be nice. Okay, Facebook and Facebook forums. I know some people are reluctant to have Facebook accounts, but if you're trotting around the globe, it's amazingly helpful, and here's why. Almost every city on the planet has an expat forum in Facebook, or many. Da Nang has half a dozen forums dedicated to foreigners or the expat enclaves. They are easy to find. Open Facebook and search on Istanbul expats, for example. And if you are hesitant to have a Facebook account, the benefits of the information available to you outweigh any and all of the fears you have about people spying on you. I wouldn't worry about it. If you carry a cell phone, you are being spied on. Your passport has an RFID chip in it, so they track you as you come and go across borders. I was talking to my dad via Skype. I call my dad on his landline via Skype, and I can do that. And it cost me $6 a month to call anywhere in the U.S. from Da Nang through Skype, and I just do it through my laptop, and it works great. I was talking to my dad via Skype, and I complained to him that the digital New York Times subscription was way too much money. The next day, I received ads for slashed rate New York Times subscriptions. They listen. In Vietnam, your landlady has to register you with the police, and as a precaution for your own safety, you should register with your home country embassies in the countries you are living in. I am registered with the U.S. Embassy in Hanoi. I receive occasional emails from them. The last one was about us approaching typhoon season, which starts on June 1st. Join Facebook and then join the expat forums for your city. It saves you tons of hassle and energy. The forums are searchable. So as an example, search on dermatology to see what conversations about dermatology have already transpired. And then you don't have to ask the group. Hi guys, I'm new in town. What can you tell me about dermatology clinics? And everybody will say, try the search function first. So do Chrome, Google, G Drive, and Gmail. Okay, are we looking for an IT environment perfect for traveling? So I have a Gmail account. My Gmail address and password give me access to the Google world, which includes YouTube, Google, G Drive, Translate, Video Chat, Gmail, and others with one sign-on. The trick is to log in using Chrome as the browser. The reason I say this is because if you are at a friend's house in Burgos, hanging out with the ghost of El Cid, and you use their computer to log into your Gmail, do it through Chrome. If they don't have Chrome, ask them if you can download it and install it. After you do that, then open it up and type mail.google.com into the address bar, log in to Gmail, and Google will recreate your Chrome desktop, including your bookmarks and bookmark bar. So all of your stuff is there, and you can get to your G Drive. Yeah, so I didn't know this at first, and I was somewhere, and I don't remember where, but I went to Chrome. I had to install Chrome. It was a friend's machine. They didn't have Chrome. They were using the Microsoft browser, whatever that is these days, Edge or something, and which is horrible. And so I installed Chrome. I asked them if I could install Chrome, and I used Edge to download Chrome and installed it and opened it up and went to Gmail, mail.google.com, and logged into my Gmail account. And as I was sitting there doing email, I noticed that all my bookmarks showed up in Chrome. My bookmark bar and all my everything, Hotmail, Google Translate, all these things on my bookmark bar, Facebook, everything just popped up. My entire Chrome environment popped up, and that was really nice. Okay, so let's talk about G Drive, my free 15 gigabytes in the cloud. I have transcripts from my undergrad and graduate degrees, honorable discharge, my DD-214, bank information, passport pages, and other useful stuff in the cloud, which in this case is G Drive. These are high quality scans or photographs which I can access anywhere in the world. So G Drive is an app for your phone also, as well as Google Translate, which I use a lot. Gmail is an app, Chrome is an app, and so is Google. So with these apps, you sign in with your Gmail account and you have full access to your Google World on your phone. Google Translate is super important, so install it on your phone and bookmark it on your laptop. You will use it a lot. I use Translate, in Facebook to communicate with friends using Facebook Messenger. I use Translate a lot. I have a good friend in Thailand who I write to. I mean, we talk a lot on Messenger, and her English is not very good, and my Thai is non-existent. So we use Translate back and forth. Visas. Okay, so I reached out to the Vietnamese embassy in Washington D.C. for my visa a full 8 months before I departed Boise. It was super easy to get a tourist visa. Currently, there are almost zero visas being issued because of COVID. But in non-COVID times, all I had to do was download and fill out a simple application and attach it to an email back to them with a current photo, a good photo of my passport pages and my debit card number. On the application, they asked what I wanted to do and for how long. I said 6 months, explore, take some scuba classes and some cooking classes, learn Vietnamese. They must have liked that answer. Back then in early 2018, well, probably late 2017, I think. I paid $170, I think, for the 6-month visa, and they FedExed it to me in Boise from Washington, D.C. in 2 days. And then I just taped it into my passport. It was a, very official thing with my photo on it. And it said it starts August 20th, 2018, and it was for 6 months. And so I had that in my passport when I arrived here. It was all done by email super efficiently. Yes, they charged me for the FedEx. That was like $18 for the FedEx from DC to Boise. Just before my initial 6-month tourist visa was up, I got a 3-month tourist visa and then a year-long one, and COVID began before that one was finished, and we've been doing month-to-month extensions since. Okay, so the US passport is quite powerful. We get 90 days free in the EU and 30 days free in Thailand. I discovered a 90-day visa upon arrival in Nepal is $100. Also, if you're crossing borders, such as from Vietnam into Laos at the border crossing, make sure you have fresh, crisp, blemish-free cash. They will reject a bill with a tiny tear on the edge or a small spot of ink. I suspect going into Nepal at the airport in Kathmandu, they would also like crisp new $100 bills. Yeah, so you show up to do a border run, and all you have is some old ratty cash that they won't take it. You have to have clean, crisp, new Vietnamese dong. During your planning to head into South America or Asia, thoroughly research the visa requirements for your host country. And when you enter the country, make sure you check the date stamp the customs agent stamps in your passport. Even though you have a year-long tourist visa from the embassy that you wisely secured before departing, doesn't necessarily mean you can stay that long. You may only get 90 days before you have to exit and come back in, or 30 days. So check that stamp. If you are headed to Peru, jump on the Peruvian embassy in DC's website and see what it says about visas. Vietnam was easy, but some countries have certain financial requirements, etc., for long-term stays. So do the research and you'll save yourself some hassle. Let's see, two-wheelers. Okay, so this is my last topic for this video. Most of the world is transported by two wheels. I highly suggest you get as much two-wheeler experience as you possibly can. Go ride a bicycle, ride a mountain bike, learn how to pop a wheelie on a bicycle, on a mountain bike. Ride an automatic scooter, ride a clutchless 4-speed with a shifter such as a Honda Trail 90. Ride a small bore manual 5-speed with a clutch and learn how to shift. Get as much experience as you can on 2 wheels before you go. Learn the controls, learn the brakes, the clutch, the blinkers, the headlamp, learn the throttle response. Learn where to put gas in, learn how to unlock the seat and how to lock the steering column. Also, skiing and surfing share the same motion mechanics as riding a motorbike. The more experience you have, the more confidence you will have on a motorbike in Crazy Town, and it gets crazy. Okay, go, ride, ride, ride. Seriously, get some experience on 2-wheelers. Any and all experience on 2-wheelers. It helps. I have a ton of mountain bike experience. I have some motorbike experience before I got here, some motorcycle experience, tons of mountain bike experience, and all of that's helped. And also skiing. I've got tons of ski experience. So that all helps. It's all part of the same motion mechanics. Okay, so let's go over this quickly. Number 1, get rid of all your stuff, all of it. Empty your storage unit. Sell or give away your junk before you leave. Get rid of it. You can buy new stuff when you get home. Number 2, get rid of your debt. Have no bills. I have a friend here who is carrying an American AT&T plan cell phone and was paying $120 a month for it, which is just getting ridiculous. Oh my God. I pay $6 a month for my Viatel, unlimited talk and text, and 2 gigabytes of data a day for $6 a month. So dump those bills. Have a paid-for phone. You can add a SIM when you get to your destination. Also, cell phones are cheap in Asia. I paid $230 for an Oppo A9 with 4K video and 128 gigabytes of space. So leave that iPhone lease behind, that iPhone 11 lease behind. Get out from underneath it. Pay it off and get it unlocked. Bring it with you. I mean, that's a nice phone to have, but you don't want to be stuck in some plan from AT&T or one of the other providers in the States. Okay, number 3, travel on a shoestring. Play with Momondo and Chrome. Delete your cookies between searches. Let Momondo run so it can find the really cheap connections. Number 4, people are amazing. Assume people are good, but don't be stupid. This is where map reading comes in. Know your ground to some degree. Research. Don't go into bad neighborhoods. Knowledge of the scale of your surroundings and the lay of the land will keep you from being taken advantage of by cabbies. It's why I always carry a compass. People are more amazing when they know we aren't an easy target. As Brian Troutman from Sailing SV Delos said, you don't park your yacht in front of a favela in Rio if you don't want your stuff stolen. But people have always been great. Okay, number 5. Facebook, get on it, make friends all over the world, become a global citizen, use the expat forums, keep in touch, stay in touch, learn your cities through the vast amounts of information available in the forums. Facebook Messenger has a high quality video chat, so you can talk to people, all over the world in Facebook Messenger. That's really nice. Video chat. Number 6, the Google universe of Gmail, Chrome, Google, G Drive, bookmarks, Translate, etc. Learn it, play with it, set it up now and use it now. It's completely portable. Upload your important docs into your G Drive so they are there if you need them. Get those apps on your phone. Number 7, visas. Do some long-term planning, some big picture planning, at least for your first longest stay somewhere. Having a visa from an embassy already in your passport adds to your confidence about your first long-term stay, because you don't know what kind of a mood the customs agent is in the day you show up at the customs at the airport in Vientiane. It's better to have it arranged in advance. Number 8, 2-wheelers. Get a ton of 2-wheeler experience. It is the mode of transport of choice, especially if you are exploring. I rode down an alley today that was 4 feet wide. It was the only way out of a neighborhood. It would have been impossible in a car and out of range on foot. 2-wheelers, men and women, are the way to go. Okay, everybody, I love you all. Please subscribe to my channel. Share this video. Thank you. On to the next one.